Going to call the August meeting of the Brockton Zoning Board of Appeals to order at 6 p.m. The board that will be sitting for the hearings tonight is member Steve Lianis, member Monique Screenberry, Fire Chief Brian Nardelli, member James Sweeney, and chairperson myself, Kenneth Galligan. Our zoning enforcement officer this evening and the clerk to the zoning board, Mr. James Plouffe. The recording secretary is Monica Fagazzo. Now, before we get started, I would ask anybody that has a cell phone or electronic device, if you could either shut it off or put it on silence so it doesn't disrupt the meeting. If you need to use a cell phone, please go out in the corridor to use that. I would ask anybody that's sitting up back, if there's conversations going on in the corridor, I'd appreciate if somebody could just close the door. All right, before we get started tonight, there's an opportunity for anyone that wants to withdraw without prejudice to withdraw. Is there anyone here tonight that wants to withdraw before the meeting starts? Seeing none, we have 3 cases that are coming before us tonight. The way the meeting will be run is I will read the petition. The petitioner will come before the board at the podium, present your case to the board. When you have completed presenting your case, I will ask the board if they have any questions relative to the testimony that was just given. When that part is completed, I will then close that portion and open it up for public discussion. First of all, I'll ask if there's anyone here that wants to be recorded or speak in favor, if there's anyone that wants to speak in opposition, or if there's any elected official in the room that wants to be heard on the issue, or if there's anyone here that has a question relative to the testimony that has been given. Once that is complete, the public participation in the hearing will be completed. I will then ask the board members to begin deliberation, and based upon the information that has been provided, you'll hear the board members talking between themselves, discussing the case. At some point, you will hear a board member make a motion to grant. If that is seconded, I will call the clerk to call the roll. In order for a petition to pass, if all 5 members vote in the affirmative, the petition will be granted. If 4 vote in the affirmative and 1 in the negative, the petition will be granted. Anything less than that, the petition will be denied. Following the vote, the clerk will let me know what the vote is, and I will announce whether or not the petition has been granted. So that's how the meeting will go tonight. Board members, are we all set?
We're good.
Okay. The first petition before us tonight is petition number 2747. The petition of Michael Heichel, 1325 Belmont Street, Brockton, Mass. For a variance, seeking relief from Section 27.9, Section 2713, and 2713A from the ordinance standards for minimum area, width, and frontage to build a new 2-family dwelling unit in an R2 zone located at Plot 34 Provost Street.
Good evening, Chairman Galligan, members of the board. My name is Chris Vale, here on behalf of the petitioner, Michael Heichel. Along with me, Scott Ferrier from J.K. Holmgren Engineering. As you heard, this is a petition to the board seeking a variance under Article 3, Section 27.9, 2713, as well as 2713A to build a 2-family home on Plot 34. To do so, Mr. Heichel is seeking relief from the lot's frontage, lot area, and width requirements. However, he is going to meet all the minimum setback requirements. The locus is located at 0 Provost Street in the city, in which Mr. Heichel is under contract to purchase this plot with the current owner, Ms. Nezrella, who has given him permission to seek the variance. The plot has 60 feet of frontage and 8,718 square feet of land. It's currently vacant in an R2 zone that is in a neighborhood that is surrounded by 2-family homes. The plot is currently a standalone lot, separately deeded and taxed for years as being a buildable lot, which part of my application I provided the MLC. As well as a plot directly abuts a city sewer and drain easement that consists of approximately 20 feet of frontage and 2,857 square feet that cannot be built upon. The plot does have a unique size and shape, being long and narrow. The proposed home's location will meet all rear, side, and front setbacks required by the city's ordinance. The proposed two-family newly built house will fit nicely on the uniquely sized lot, being narrow in size with 2 units that will have all proper ingress and egress from the front and rear of the home. All staircases will also be inside the house. And the property will also have ample parking for a two-family home by having 2 separate driveways for parking to accommodate 4 vehicles in each driveway. In regards to the hardship, this project, like I said, does have unique size and shape, being narrow in an R2 zone, which allows for 2-family homes. The plot is surrounded by 2-family homes within almost identical sized abutting lots. In addition, for years, this plot has been assessed and taxed as a standalone buildable lot. And lastly, it abuts this 2,857 square foot easement. So we are asking the board to approve the variance in order to allow the construction of this newly built 2-family home that will be beneficial to the city. Thank you.
Board members.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, if I may. So outside of, and just tell me if I'm wrong, outside of the frontage, you meet the, outside of the minimum distance for frontage, you meet all the other setbacks?
We do. The thing is a frontage, which is 60, but with that easement where nobody can build upon, and it would have an appearance of looking 80 feet of frontage.
Had that easement not been there, you wouldn't even need to be here?
I think it's part of another lot, so it would still need to go.
Okay, okay. That's all I got. Thank you.
So, Mr. Vale, just real quick, what are you claiming as your hardship for the variance?
One, the size, shape of this lot, the fact that it's in an R2 zone, being kind of undersized and surrounded all by 2 families, as well as the fact that it abuts the easement, and then as well as the fact that it has been taxed and assessed on a separate MLC as a buildable lot in this zone. So I think Mr. Heichel has shown 4 different kind of hardships here.
Thank you, sir.
If I could just continue. So what's there now is just overgrown?
Nothing, just
typical
vacant.
Overgrown vacant lot that we have in the city? Okay.
Yes.
Area-wise, you would need 10,000 for a 2-family. You've got 8,700, so that...
I put that in as needing a variance. I know it says 5,000, but for a 2-family, you need 10,000.
10,000, right.
And so I did include that.
Okay. And on your plans, it shows on the back of the house a stairway. Have you got the plan in front of you there? Is that a porch?
That's a porch. It's a stairway for the first floor, not up for the second or third floor.
Okay, so it's just access from the first floor.
Exactly, just to get off the deck from the first floor.
So first and second floor deck that we see here, there is no access from those decks to the ground then?
On the second floor, correct. On the first floor, there is that set of stairs. The first floor deck, you can get to the ground. The second floor, you cannot.
Okay, it just looked like there was a 4x4 deck that probably came out the back door of a house rather than off the deck.
That's an entrance and a separate egress that goes upstairs in an interior hallway to the second floor.
All right, is there a stairway to the first floor deck that's not on here? Is that what I'm saying?
He's talking about this.
The back deck, right?
Yeah, the back deck.
There's no stairway to the back second floor.
yeah.
No.
All right. Because you do know that there's a relatively new ordinance on stairs and decks, and, yeah.
Yes.
So we just want to make sure of that. All right, board members, any other questions? Close that portion of the hearing. Is there anyone here that wants to speak in favor? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. Is there anyone here that wants to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. Is there any elected official in the room that wants to be heard on the issue? Seeing none, I close that portion of the hearing. Is there anyone in the room that has a question relative to the testimony that has been given? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. That concludes the public discussion on the issue. I will now open it up for deliberations among the board. Board members.
Well, we've seen this developer before, and serving on this board for the amount of time that I have, it's good to see final products of things that these developers come in and they create. So like the Pleasant Street development went the way we expected it. It's showing a good track record is what I'm trying to allude to. On this particular project, I find it, very minimal relief, and I would be in favor of it.
I think, too, it meets the neighborhood. I mean, there's not a lot in the neighborhood that's much different than this. It's very similar. I think it'll do a lot for what's there right now.
Plans that they submitted indicate that they're going to put a long and narrow house on a long and narrow lot, which has been something that this board has been looking for. Yep.
A motion to grant.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to grant. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Lanus.
Yes.
Chief Nadelli.
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney.
Yes.
Ms. Greenberry.
Yes.
Chair Galligan.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, that's 5 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative.
Well,
You have
there's
one.
5 in the affirmative, none in the negative. The petition as presented has been granted.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Is there anyone here for 541 Pleasant Street? You are? Okay, great. The next petition is 2548, the petition of Pearl Street Donuts Incorporated, 12 Riverside Drive, Pembroke, Mass., for a special permit seeking relief from Section 2737 to update the hours of operation to be a new set of hours from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. in a C2 zone located at 541 Pleasant Street.
Good evening, members of the board. Attorney Michelle Oliver on behalf of the petitioner, Pearl Street Donuts, Inc. As the application states, we're looking to update the special permit that was issued in 1995 to change the hours of operation from 5 o'clock a.m. to 11 p.m. It was previously 6 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Okay. Mr. Chair, if I may?
Yeah, just before that, just reiterate, what's the hours now? 6?
6 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Got it? And you want to go to 5 to 11?
Yes,
Same closing hour, 11 o'clock?
yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Go ahead.
Can I ask what brings about the change?
People are going to work earlier. I think they want to be able to go get their cup of coffee earlier in the morning, see a need for it, and based on kind of the surrounding area, I think it's in keeping with kind of the area that it is in.
Okay. Are there any improvements coming to this location?
Yes, you were aware of it, that we taken over Honeydew and converted to a Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay, so we're going to be a Dunkin' Donuts now?
Right.
Okay.
Could you just identify yourself?
Oh, I'm sorry, John Cadet, I'm the owner of the,
He's the petitioner,
The
Pearl
petitioner.
Street Donuts.
Thank you very much.
There was a hearing on this quite a few years ago, and there was a couple of stipulations. One was the dumpster was going to be enclosed, so we would want to make sure that under the new ownership, that is in compliance with the dumpster ordinance. The other provision that was in there was the fence along the back of the property. Just make sure that fence is maintained, because that was part of it. The other question that I have that has been a problem for a number of years is the current owner or operator of that location, many years ago, had the Edison Company put a pack light up on the pole, which would be at the southwest corner of your property. So you are the owner of the property?
I'm not the owner of the property, no.
He's the tenant,
I'm
so
going to be a
the,
tenant.
Okay.
yes.
So this needs to be said that that light that was mounted on that pole, which is a sodium vapor light, and I want you to take a note on this, because this is going to be an important consideration in granting of a special permit. That light for cars that are traveling west on Pleasant Street, as you make the turn at Prospect Street, it is absolutely blinding. And this would be a great opportunity to address that situation and hear from you, perhaps, that all of the lighting on this property will be downward facing so that it's not intruding on neighborhood, surrounding areas. Is that what we can expect?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's what we have in all our locations.
That light is a very dangerous situation as cars come around that curve. It's right in your face. And for a while, when that donut shop apparently was not in operation, the light was out, it was perfect. And then when it opened up again, the light. So I'd appreciate if you could take care of that. Thank you. All right, board members, any other questions? Apparently all we're considering here is changing the hours. And is this 7 days a week, by the way?
Yes.
7 days a week. Okay, I'll close that portion of the hearing now. Is there anyone in the room that wants to be heard on this issue? Is there anyone that wants to speak in favor? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. Is there anyone here that wants to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. Is there any elected official in the room that wants to be heard on the issue? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. Is there anyone in the room that has a question relative to any of the testimony that has been given? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. That concludes the public discussion. I will now open it up for board member deliberation. Board members.
I think it's a reasonable request and very minimal change of an hour, so I'm in favor.
I think, too, if it's going to solve the problem coming off a Prospect, like the gentleman stated, I think that helps as well. Like, I'll tell you right now, I'm an early guy, and coffee shops are always open when I'm on my way in, and it's 5 in the morning. This is not an unreasonable thing in a city. So I think it's actually better, especially for such a well-traveled road that does not have another coffee shop coming out of the city to the highway, other than when you have to go into the mall.
I would agree.
So the other thing to consider is this has been a donut shop for a long time, and I don't ever remember any problems up there.
Nope.
Not at least from the zoning board perspective, anyway. Yeah. So they're looking for 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. 7 days a week as a special permit.
Make a motion to grant.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to grant with the stipulation that they're going to address that light that we talked about. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Lanus.
Yes.
Chief Nadelli.
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney.
Yes.
Ms. Greenberry.
Yes.
Chair Galligan.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, that's 5 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative.
Vote is 5 in the affirmative, none in the negative. The petition is granted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Is there anyone here for Gladstone Street? You're going to take that? Okay. The next petition, 2549, the petition of Philip C. Nezarella, 1063 North Main Street, Brockton, Mass., for a variance seeking relief from 27-9 and 27-25 to construct a residential structure on Plot 24 and obtain relief from lot size, front, rear, and side dimensional requirements in an R1C zone located at Plot 24 Gladstone Street.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. Board member Scott Farrier from Holmgren Engineering, taking Attorney Nezarella's place tonight for Plot 24 Gladstone Street. As you folks will remember, we were before you last month. Attorney Nezarella went through his proposal, his application, expressed all of the hardships that he felt were pertained to the property. We got to the point during construction, during conversation, where we realized that the appeal period from the planning board subdivision approval had not expired yet. So at that point, we kind of kicked it around and decided to postpone any decision that night, re-advertised, and are back here tonight with the exact same proposal. The appeal period expired at the city clerk's office someday last week. So the appeal period is expired, and all conditions that Attorney Nezzarella mentioned in his very eloquent discussion still holds today.
So if I could real quick, I just, with this document, what kind of house are we looking to put on here, Scott?
It is a single family. It's a 28 by 40. It's basically your 90 degree, your spun 90 degree colonial, your old fashioned colonial.
Wait a minute, so it's going to, where's the front door going to
The front door is still facing Gladstone. It's just running lengthwise on the property as opposed to across the frontage like most of your houses today are.
Do you have a picture of what the house looks like at
Yeah.
all? Or?
I think I do.
There's not much with what we
No,
received.
no question. It's, again, the
Very
lot
full.
is 50 feet wide. So, actually 60 feet wide. So we've got a 16-foot setback on either side yard. But by spinning the house the 90 degrees, it allows us to have the 16-foot side yard setback.
So I don't have a computer. By looking at the picture, it looks like a raised ranch. It looks like a raised ranch.
Yep.
But if I understand correctly, Scott, the raised ranch is being turned sideways. So the side of the house would then be facing Gladstone? It doesn't, I guess what I see here for a picture
Yep.
does not look like that's going to fit lengthwise. That's not lengthwise. That would be lengthwise. If this is Gladstone, that's the front door. That's lengthwise on the lot, if I understand. Am I correct in assuming that?
It's definitely a different layout being a raised ranch, but that is the intention. So
So the front door wouldn't face Gladstone then, it would face the neighbor.
I believe you're right, facing the neighbor.
That's all I have, thanks.
Yep. On the driveway side, so on the northerly side.
And you're asking for relief from rear yard setback. You have 16 feet.
That's
You need
correct.
30.
Yep. And also front yard setback for the steps. We have it to the foundation, but not to the steps.
So I guess, what are you calling the back of this house? The east side or the north side?
The east side. Look, so I guess we're looking at the lot as front yard, rear yard, side and side, not so much the house, so. So we're looking at the east side as being the rear yard.
So can you just reiterate any of the hardships that were related to this situation? You remember?
I believe, I believe it was the shape of the lot, the lack of depth to the lot, and the kind of peculiar shape to the abutting property, which basically squeezed our lot, didn't allow our lot to go any further back to give us more depth. So it would be the shape of the lot.
Do you know how that wedge piece in the back came about? On the plan here, it shows that wedge piece.
Yeah.
It goes with the house that was built 10
Yep.
years ago.
Yep, exactly. These three lots were created at the same time. So for whatever reason, they wanted that wedge. I'm not sure exactly why. It wasn't necessarily an area requirement. I don't know why they did it, but that was the intention of the plan.
Well, that wedge-shaped piece was deeded with the house that has already been built on the south end. That all goes together.
Right, correct.
And it bisects a pool.
Yes.
I mean, this is kind of different. Okay, very good. So you're saying that the hardships that we heard relative to this site at last month is the same hardships you're proposing tonight.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I want to revisit a point that Chief Nardelli brought up, and then, we kind of got to the answer. Why is the door facing the side?
I think just because, as you look at the plan, it's your, kind of your typical raised ranch as opposed to a different construction. So building the raised ranch, with the split level entry.
I mean, when you make these decisions, you got to think aesthetically for the neighborhood.
Yep.
And putting a door that faces your neighbor directly on the same side of the street, I don't like it. So I just need to express myself on that. That's not what I like to. It is what it is. But thank you for answering.
Now, on the plan, it looks like there's is that a door on the front there also? Looks like a little staircase.
Yes, yeah.
You don't have like a picture what that would look like?
I don't. All we have are the plans that were submitted, so.
And that's the plan right there.
Yes, thank you, yes.
All right, board members, any other questions? Everybody's good? Good. Okay, I'll close that portion of the hearing. Is there anyone here that wants to speak in favor? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. Is there anyone that wants to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. Is there any elected official in the room that wants to be heard on the issue? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. Is there anyone in the room that has a question relative to the testimony that has been given? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. That concludes the public discussion. I will now open it up for board deliberations. Board members.
I just, and with all due respect, Scott, I have the utmost respect for you. You were handed something Brockton's better than this. Brockton's better than this. So I'm not going to go any further, but we've seen this over the years. Someone falls asleep at the switch, and we got a house sideways that looks ridiculous, completely unaesthetic to the neighborhood. We're better than this. So that's all I have to say. And again, Scott, you're dealing with what you have, and I have the utmost respect for you.
Thank you.
That's just my 2 cents.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I really couldn't put my name to that on this, what's presented to us today, so.
Well, I'll put my 2 cents in. I've seen several of these go in the city. Some of these go back 40 years ago, but it seems as though now some of these large 28 by 40s are being attempted to be put on sideways on narrow lots that were never designed to house a building of that size. The ones that I have seen around Scott, I would be very upset if that house was built and the front of that house was staring at my house.
Understood.
So, maybe there's something else that can be built on this lot. I'll tell you right now, I can't support what is before us tonight. So that's my take on it. I just think that this is a stretch, trying to build a house that probably should sit on a 20,000 square foot lot onto a 5,000, so.
I'll motion to approve.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to grant. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Lanus.
No.
Chief Nardelli.
No.
Mr. Sweeney.
No.
Ms. Greenberry.
No.
Chair Galligan.
No.
Mr. Chair, that's 0 in the affirmative, 5 in the negative.
The vote is none in the affirmative, 5 in the negative. The petition is denied.
Thank you, folks. Good night.
Good night. All right, before we conclude tonight's hearing, it's our annual duty to elect for the coming year a chairperson and a vice chairperson for the Zoning Board of Appeals. So the chair at this point would open up nominations for one of us 5 members to be the chairperson for the coming year. Do I have any nominations?
Nominate. We all want to get to it. I'll let you do it, Mr. Sweeney. Have at it.
I'll nominate Chair Galligan.
Second?
Double second. That's possible.
Okay, that's been motioned and seconded. Are there any other nominations?
I'd like to close nominations.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded to close nominations. We have one nomination. I will ask the clerk to poll the board for their vote.
Mr. Lanus.
Yes.
No,
Chief Nardelli.
by name.
Oh, Stephen Lanus.
No.
What?
Who are you voting for?
Oh, who?
Ken Galligan.
Ken Galligan.
Yep.
Chief Nardelli.
Ken Galligan.
Mr. Sweeney.
Ken Galligan.
Ms. Greenberry.
Ken Gallagher.
Ken Galligan.
Yeah, I'll vote for Ken Galligan.
Mr. Ken Galligan, you are the winner at 5-0.
All right, the vote is 5 for the current chairperson to continue in this position for another year. I accept the nomination. All right, the next vote will be for a vice chairperson who will act in the absence of the chairperson.
I nominate
Chair will now open up nominations for vice chair.
Chief Nardelli.
Thanks.
Second.
Nomination has been seconded for Chief Nardelli. Are there
I'd like
any
to
other
close
names?
nominations.
Motion has been made to close nominations. We have one nomination, and that is for Chief Nardelli for the vice chair position for the upcoming year.
Mr. Chair, we need a second.
We got a second. We got a second.
Yeah, we
A
got
second, I
it.
need a second.
That's me.
Okay.
So we got a second.
Okay.
We're all above board. And now I'll ask the clerk just to poll the board for the vote.
Steve Lanus.
Brian Nardelli.
Brian Nardelli.
Brian Nardelli, I guess.
James Sweeney.
Brian Nardelli.
Monique Screenberry.
Brian Nardelli.
Ken Galligan.
Brian Nardelli.
Mr. Chair, this is 5-0 to elect Brian Nardelli.
All right, so the vice chairperson for the Zoning Board of Appeals for the next year will be member and fire chief Brian Nardelli. So congratulations to all the nominees and the winners.
Just don't be absent, okay?
Having no further business to come before the board, we are
Motion to adjourn.